Tough love is a term that describes when somebody is willing to be maybe hard on somebody in order to help them. Always we tell the truth in love, but sometimes what's good for another person, what's good for us, may not feel so good. Um, in my life, I became a teacher because I hated school as a kid. That might sound weird for you, but I never liked school. I had a couple of good teachers over the course of all my years, but basically, no. And at the end of college, I got this idea that I should maybe try something in education. That if I could be a teacher that would do better than what was done to me, I would feel good. And if I can't, and I discover it's the way it has to be, that school has to be boring and irrelevant and whatever, then I'll just accept it and keep my mouth shut. I didn't go to college to be a teacher. Because that inspiration to do that didn't happen until college was over. I only had one teaching opportunity got handed to me. It was a school in Queens Village, and I'm really grateful for that because it moved my life to Queens Village, where I've been ever since. But at that school, they're looking for an American history teacher. And make a long story short, I got to be a teacher, and I became the kind of teacher that I would like to have had. And that was a big thrill for me. But there was this principal that gave me a hard time. Her name was Sister Mary Edna, and I could do nothing right in Sister Mary Edna's eyes. Sister Mary Edna, I was in more trouble than my students. I had a really rowdy, rambunctious bunch of students in my homeroom, and yet I was in more trouble than they ever were. Nothing was good enough for Sister Mary Edna. She was always calling me out on this and that, and she was breaking my chops. And basically, I decided, you know what? I want to be the kind of teacher that I want to be, and if she don't want to support that, well, I'm going to be that kind of teacher anyway. And then there came a time where I left that job to work with youth more at the church, and there came a time when they were having a retirement party for her, and I wasn't going to go. I was like, yeah, get her out of here. But they were like, no, you work for the church and you're expected to be there. So I went to the restaurant where they were having the big party for Sister Mary Edna. And I walked through the door and she comes up to me. And she's actually got tears in her eyes. And she says to me, I'm really glad I got to know you. And just remember, keep on doing what you got to do no matter what. And then I got tears in my eyes because it hit me. That's what she was trying to teach me. She was willing to have me hate her all my life for breaking my chops. And meanwhile, she was toughening me up. I was a kid. I was 22 years old, trying to get involved with kids and with the church and everything like that. She knew if I was going to be looking for the people in charge to approve and encourage and be supportive, I was going to be a mess. Probably wouldn't last 3 days. She knew what my mission was, what I would be up against, and she was willing to be the one to toughen me up, even if it meant hating her. And she and I became close from that moment on, all the way up until the time she died. And she's my best example of somebody willing to love me in a way in which you're willing to take the consequences. That person may not like you, may hate you, may not even want to know you. Parents love in this kind of way. Good parents do anyway. Too many parents these days want to be their child's friend, and that doesn't help them. Thing is that you tell the truth in love. Otherwise, it's just harshness, and there's nothing of God about that. Okay? So ask yourself, is there somebody that you should be tough loving? Okay, and maybe not. Is there somebody that tough loved you? And maybe you were like me with Sister Mary Edna and you didn't appreciate it. Maybe you could go to them and let them know that you appreciate the sacrifice they made, the risk they were willing to take. Okay? Sometimes God loves us like this. He lets us suffer in the midst of the mess we make so we might choose something better. We look for him to so many times just like swoop in and make everything right. And the loving thing to do is just to realize, okay, these are the consequences of your actions. Okay, make up your mind to change that. I'll help you, but I'm not going to do it for you. Okay? That's my God shot on tough love. Hope it opens some eyes for you, and go out there and love people. God bless you. Love you. Take care.